What's going on? We are live. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome. Welcome to another live stream. I'm excited to be here today. We definitely got some good stuff to talk about in terms of Apple Home and smart home in general. I hope you guys are ready. If you're new here or if this is your first live stream, again, welcome. We'll just hang out for the next hour. We have some stuff to cover that was in the news and some new products and things like that we can discuss. And yeah, this is just always a good time to ask questions, especially the last half of the stream. We'll definitely do some questions, Q&A type of stuff there. And I'll do my best to answer any questions you might have. But yeah, just a fun time to nerd out about our smart homes. So let's say hi to some folks as we kind of let people roll into the stream here. Jeff, what's going on, Jeff? How you doing today? Sunny and 40 degrees in Michigan. Great day to chat Apple Home. Indeed it is. Is there ever not a good day to chat about Apple Home? I don't think so. Great to have you here, Jeff. Hope you're having a good week so far. Don, what's going on? Don, how you doing today? Joe from old Staten Island. Awesome, great. Oops, there we go. Great to see you, Joe. Hope you're doing well today also. Bruce is here. Scott, what's going on, Scott? Let's see, to do Alexis. Larry, what's going on, Larry? Happy Wednesday to you. Paul, Frederick, what's going on, Frederick? Thank you. Says looks and sounds great. Appreciate that. I remembered to take myself off of mute this week. So that's always a good start. Keenan, what's going on? The Christmas lighting. Thank you. Yeah, I was actually just, while I was waiting on the countdown, messing around with some of the lights and changing the colors. I was like, you know what? I got these Christmas lights. Let me throw them in the background and see how that looks. We got a holiday vibe. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I love getting into the holiday spirits a little bit here and there. So might as well while we can, because it is going by fast. It's crazy to think it's already halfway through December. Wow, it'll be the new year before we know it. Ian, what's going on, Ian? Ian from Georgia. Hair Riot, love the lights. Thank you. Green Arrow is here. What's going on, Green Arrow? Mr. H4S 3K1. Peter from Denmark. What's going on? How you guys doing? So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And later on, if you guys have questions and stuff, you can start dropping questions in a little while. But let's see, I wanted to see, let me change this real quick to live chat and I'll try my best to keep up with the chat today. Let's see, everything looking and sounding good. Let's see, howdy from Newburgh, Oregon. What's going on? Dawn, let's see. The Tyler Pat, first time making it during the actual stream. Awesome, well, so glad you could join us. And you can make it here today. Great to have you in the chat. Giant Pumpkins is here also. All right, cool, love the name. Aaron Moore from the UK. Awesome, we got people from all over the place. And Brian from Florida. How's the weather down there in Florida? It was nice. It's been pretty nice for a few hours during the middle of the day. It's been like beautiful around here this week, but kind of cold in the mornings and the evenings. But midday, it's been great. I've been working on the backyard. Let's see, some of the projects I've been doing. Let's see, this week, I've been getting a lot done. So I actually had food poisoning last week. Oh my gosh, it was brutal. It knocked me out for almost a whole week by the time it was all said and done. So it was actually right after the live stream last week. I went out with a few friends. We actually had our member stream last week too. So we did the live stream and then we did the member video chat. And then I went out with a few friends, had a couple drinks, ate some bad tacos, and man, I was sick as a dog. I've not had food poisoning that bad. I felt like I had the flu. Whew, it was brutal for a few days. So didn't get much done throughout the weekend and last week, so I've been kind of getting after it this week. Yeah, so I say that to say yesterday was a beautiful day. I got out on the back porch and started, did a little bit of the stuff I been wanting to do out there, wanted to do over the weekend, but couldn't. Hung a new camera floodlight that I've been wanting to put back there for a while. I also broke my hand recently, my wrist and my hand. So some things were put on the back burner, but I got that new floodlight camera out there, which is great. So now I have some good lighting on that new patio that we had built out there. And I also got my TV mounted on a lift kit and all kinds of, it's super awesome. So I finally got that done. I've been sharing some of that on Instagram, so go follow me over on Instagram for more of those behind the scenes. But I'll definitely share more here on YouTube as well with that project. But super excited to get that project kind of underway. Let's see. Feel better. Oh, thank you, Edgar. Yeah, let's see. I guess Sunday, Monday, I finally started feeling back to myself. Saturday was pretty bad still. Yeah, Sunday I was finally feeling good. Better, I should say. HomeKit Techie, what's going on? HomeKit Techie in the house. Yes, sir. Oh, dude. Wow. Sam, what's going on? Sam in the house. Where's my super chat button? We got a huge super chat from Sam. Thank you so much, Sam, for that very generous super chat. On my way to TT, can't stay long, but cheers to Shane. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sam, for the super chat and just for the continued support. Great to see you here. Safe travels. I hope you have a great day. I know you said you got to roll, so enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for stopping by. Also, let's see, hold on. Let me get my chat to catch up here. Sam also gifted 10 memberships. So, wow, thank you so much, Sam, for coming in hot with the support today. Awesome, dude. You are great. Thank you so much. So, Sam gifted 10 memberships. So, if you're not familiar with that, I have a channel membership where you can get access to my member Discord server, early video, get access to early videos. We do a monthly member chat, some cool perks like that. We have Jerry was gifted a membership. Andre Jones was gifted a membership. And by the way, YouTube kind of randomly picks who gets these memberships. I think based on like channel engagement and stuff. Dude, another 10 memberships. Sam, you are the man. Sam, thank you so much. What a guy, Aaron says. Absolutely. Jeff, 30 memberships. Wow. Jerry says, nice. Wow, 10 more, Frederick says. Yes, thank you so much, Sam. So let's go through these. Again, YouTube picks who gets these memberships. But as a member, with this gifted membership, I'll say, since we have at least, was it 20 memberships? 30. Wow. Oh, it was only 20. I see. It looks like 30 in the way the chat kind of displays that. I see. But yeah, so you'll get a month, 30 days as a member, and you don't have to sign up for anything. And after a month, that will end. If you want to, continue that membership, you can just click the join button on my channel, and then it'll automatically renew if you want to do that. It's about $5 a month to be a channel member. But again, we have a member Discord server where you can always reach me and you can reach the group. We have a great group of people over there in our Discord server, and always a lot of fun. I'm in there every day. Also, I'm putting out videos now early to channel members, so you'll get early access to videos. Our monthly member chats are a lot of fun. So just awesome stuff. And also, I think if you have to make sure you're eligible for these gifted memberships, I believe. So just click, I think if you click the one of the gifts, I don't know, there's a way to check on that, I think, to make sure. But looks like they're going out just fine. Jerry, Andre, Eric W., Eric Keys, Ray Fargo, Travis, all you guys were gifted a membership. Stripe Bubble 65, Katharina, sorry if I'm butchering names here, guys. I'm going to butcher that name. So sorry. Sarva, Jerry, Hungry C, all gifted memberships, it looks like. Ian, Peter, Jerry. We got a lot. Adam, Shimpasta, Shibas. Again, I'm butchering names. I should probably just stop trying. I'm so sorry if I do. Devin, Matt, Dane. Awesome. All right, well, let's keep it rolling, guys. A couple things to discuss here. So we had some new announcements this week. First of all, the Aqara. I did post a little short video, so you might have seen this from me anyways. But the Aqara FP2, this little product right here is actually, well, first of all, it's on sale right now, 25% off. I did put a link to this down in the video description if you've been thinking about one of these or waiting for it to go on sale. It's 25% off right now, so that's a good deal. But there's an update to this to now include sleep tracking. That update will roll out kind of in waves to end users. So it's already started, so you may have already gotten this update. If not, you should get it very soon. But yeah, sleep tracking on that. Also, let's see, there was AI person detection that they announced is going to be coming soon. And also, what was it? It was AI person detection. I can't even remember now. I made that that short video. Let's see. Aaron, I'm waiting on the keys for my first home. Awesome, man. That is so exciting. Purchasing your first home, that's something you'll never forget. That's so cool. Congratulations. Been watching Shane for a while, so I think I've maybe gotten every Aqara product waiting to install. That is awesome. So exciting when you get your first home. It's actually this is my second home that my wife and I have purchased, and it was after we got into right after we moved in this home when I first started getting into smart home stuff. So yeah, very exciting. Adam says, thanks, Sam. Got one of the memberships. Very cool. Yeah, 20 of you guys should have memberships now. Again, check out the member Discord server. All you have to do as a member to get into our Discord server is just to connect your YouTube account in your Discord user settings. So if you don't have Discord yet, you can download the app or go to the website and just create an account in your settings, connect YouTube, and then you can get access to our Discord server. So I hope to see you guys over there, all you new members. Great to have you guys. Justin says, question, what smoke detector do you recommend, HomeKit compatible or not? So I have mixed feelings about this. My favorite so far, which, there's not a lot of options here in the US, but I've been using the Owl smoke detector. I did a whole video on that a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. There are some pros and cons, but there's really only like 2 native smoke detectors, with native HomeKit support that you can get right now in the US. Not a fan of the other one. So I've been using this one, but again, it's not perfect, but it's the one that I'm currently using. All right, next up, let's keep on rolling here. So there's 17.2 release. So if you haven't already, you can now update your Apple TVs, HomePods, and everything. Apple TV actually came with a little bit of a redesign on this one. So not a whole lot changed here, but they have this new little like kind of slide out or this little side menu right here instead of being across the top. I don't know who actually will use that or if that, makes much difference to you. Personally, I haven't really, it hasn't made a big difference to me just yet. But yeah, that's probably the biggest change right there to Apple TV interface. Everything else seems to be pretty much the same. Again, HomePods updated too. I haven't had any issues with my HomePods or Apple TVs or anything, luckily, in the update. So hopefully you guys as well. Jay, wow, Jay came through with a super chat, $30 super chat. Jay, thank you so much for the super chat. Jay says, installing 4 Aqara Smart Lock U100s on Friday. Thanks for the review. You are awesome. Dude, you are awesome. Thank you. Wow, 4 smart locks, 4 U100 smart locks. That is awesome. That's a lot of doors. But that's a great smart lock. I love them. I'm using one in my house. I still also have a Schlage Encode Plus that I'm using, but I am also still using that Aqara U100. So that's awesome. Great to hear. Frederick, waiting on the new Apple TV to replace the non-thread one. Yes, I actually still have, let's see, 2 of the older non-thread Apple TVs in my setup. I think I have 4 Apple TVs total. Yeah, that's right. And then 2 of them are the older ones without thread. I actually have another one that I haven't set up yet. I'm debating on if I want to put that on the back porch with the new TV that I just set up or not. I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to do that. We'll see. Alexis, wow, thank you so much. Alexis just gifted 5 memberships as well. Where is my button right here for the, we'll hit some confetti for that. Thank you so much. Alexis gifted 5 memberships. Wow, we got a lot of new members today. This is awesome. We got Jack's Diner, Outlaws, John Overton. Let's see who else. Baba is trolling. Was gifted. Brian R73 was gifted a membership. Awesome. Well, you guys can thank Alexis for that. And again, that's 30 days of a membership that you were just gifted. If you want that to renew, all you have to do is hit the join button here somewhere down below. I did also pin a link in the chat where you can kind of get some more details on the memberships and stuff like that. So thanks Alexis for that. Very cool. So let's see, where was I? Yeah, Apple TV redesign. It kind of makes sense because I feel like that kind of goes more in line with the way a lot of the different apps and stuff kind of have the sidebar over there, Netflix or whatever, all of them really. So it kind of makes sense, I guess. Next up, there was a Matter update for the Eve motion blinds. So if you have Eve motion blinds before, so these connect over Thread. Before they only worked with Apple Home, but since these now can be updated to support Matter, you can get your Eve motion blinds into any smart home ecosystem that supports Matter, which is, you know, all the major ones. I haven't checked on the actual, what do you call it, the device category and see how all the other platforms support is for blinds, but yeah, you should be able to at least add them. And let me know, has anybody updated their Eve motion blinds to Matter yet? I have one set right now in my house and I have not done the update yet. Let's see. Ah, yes. Oh, okay. Very cool. Male, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, says I have, adds adaptive shading, but it's confusing. Okay, that's correct. This does add, let's see if we got a good, there we go, adaptive shading. So I have not used this again yet. So this is supposed to adjust your shades and stuff based on the, kind of like adaptive lighting does for your lights. Throughout the day, it should be able to adjust your shades. So, oh, and there's a little video. Oh, that's SmartWing, so that's not, okay, HomeKit News, yeah. And we're at homekitnews.com right here. But yeah, it does bring that new adaptive shading feature. So that's cool. I'm gonna have to play around with that and see what's up with it. Yeah, not the same shade. Yeah, my bad. They had for some reason they had a SmartWing video on there, which SmartWings also has some Thread Matter shades, and that's what I'm going to be installing on the back porch. So that's the next thing. I didn't get around to that yesterday, but I plan to install a bunch of outdoor. SmartWings makes outdoor shades, support Matter over Thread. I'm gonna put a bunch of those on my back porch and see how that goes. Let's see. All right. We had next up, there is some new HomeKit cameras have just come out not too long ago. Let's see if we get my camera. So these just came out. So you can see right here, Apple Home. TP-Link has recently released their first, I'm pretty sure they don't have any HomeKit cameras. So TP-Link Topo now has HomeKit cameras. 2K, supports Wi-Fi 6 like that new Aqara pan and tilt camera. So 2K, of course, HomeKit only supports 1080p, but has a physical privacy shutter. I haven't had time to mess with these and test them out yet. There's also another one right here. So this is a pan and tilt. I actually like the look of this one. Again, I haven't had time to test it out and see. But this is TP-Link's new pan and tilt camera. It has a physical button, a privacy button right there, which will physically shut the camera. So you either like that or not, I guess. But yeah, will be interesting. It looks like it has a lot of features like pet detection and things like that that will probably work in the TP-Link app or the Tapo app. So I'll get these set up and start messing around with them here really soon. But wanted to share that because, like I said, this is TP-Link's first go at HomeKit cameras. So great to see. And yeah, more to follow on that. You guys let me know if you have questions. Let's see. Have you had an issue with HomeKit Secure Video where it shows the feed, but it does not seem to be recording, where you can't see past events? I have not had an issue with that, so you can't see recordings. I wonder if your timeline and all that is not showing up at all and all you're getting is the live feed. It could be a few different things if that's the case, but no, I have not experienced any issues with like that. Lone Star Trent, yes, these are indoor cameras. These are not rated for outdoors as far as I'm aware. So yeah, indoor cameras here. Correct, only see the live feed. Yeah, so I remember once a while back seeing some issues like that where I can't remember, this was a long time ago, probably 2 years ago. I don't remember what the issue was. I think it had something to do with an update. So I'd say update all your devices again. 17.2 just came out, so maybe update everything. Restart your HomeKit hubs. Of course, make sure you have, your HomeKit secure video recording settings properly. So you should be, just to make sure you should be seeing those recordings there, because it might be set not to record. Let's see. Also, make sure your iCloud Plus plan, you have one that supports however many cameras you have. So, there is a limit depending on which iCloud Plus plan you have also. And look at there, Lone Star Trent on 17.3 already. Let's see. All right, I see some questions here. I guess you guys, I think, all right, Paul, we got let's see, there we go, super chat from Paul. Paul, thank you so much for the super chat. Paul says, hey, Shane, thinking about getting the Homie Pro. Have you had any of the complex advanced flows, and Merry Christmas to you and your family? Thank you, Paul, so much. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. So the question here was, have you made any of the complex advanced flows? I have not really jumped into the advanced flows too much. I'm really excited to, as I've said before, so I'm kind of in this weird place right now where I still have a lot of accessories that I can't bring into Homie Pro, but I'm kind of closing that gap more and more. And I am trying to get as many devices into Homie Pro as I can. So I'm getting there. I was actually thinking the other day of some automations. I can't remember what it was. I took some notes, but there is some automation that I was thinking would be perfect for a more advanced flow with some different conditions and things like that. So I will start to use that more here, probably in the pretty near future. But so far, I haven't done any of the advanced flows in Homie Pro. Nothing too advanced. Like I said, there's some pretty impressive capabilities there that I do want to get into, and that's one of the reasons why I want to kind of explore that a little bit more, but I haven't done it yet. So, and Paul, we also have as you probably know, We have a homie channel in our member Discord also. So, if you end up getting one, have any questions, or, want to share your experience, definitely post over there in the Discord channel for that. Let's see. Peter says, how many HomePod minis can you have connected? I've heard several months ago, after 5, there seemed to be a problem. Love YouTube channel. Keep up the good work for the community. Thank you, Peter, for the support. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't think there's an official limit on these. Let's see, if anybody in the chat has any experience with a maximum. I know at one point, certain people had issues going over 6, I think is the number I was hearing for a while. Again, I don't think there's an official limit on how many is an issue. I don't have that many HomePod minis. I have, let's see, I kind of swapped some out with the bigger HomePods, but a total I have, let's see, I have 2 in here, 2, 3, let's see, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm at 6 or 7 HomePods, both minis and big ones. And I don't really have any major issues. I have some issues here and there, but I don't think it has anything to do with the number of HomePods I have. So Frederick has 9 HomePod minis. So Frederick, do you have any issues with because of the amount you have? I think you've had a bunch for a while. Where's George Silverhammer? Doesn't he have about 200? Yeah, Travis, I was thinking the same thing. I don't know if George is here in the chat today. I think I saw him earlier in the chat, and I might have missed his comment. If so, we've had kind of a lot flowing there I may have missed, as Dan says, where's Silverhammer? That's right. George, we need you if you're here. he might have had to dip out. I think I saw his chat earlier there, Frederick. I don't know. I could be wrong. Again, it was kind of flying there as I was rambling on earlier. Let's see. New Eve Energy outlet showing as a certified Matter product on CSA website, standard in-wall outlet style. Could be some new stuff coming. CES is right around the corner, so I expect there will be a lot of announcements from a lot of different companies, and I expect we'll see a lot of Matter stuff. So I'm pretty excited about CES this year. Last year, I remember it was just like Matter was just kind of plastered everywhere. That was kind of the talk, especially in the smart home space. This year, it's exciting because it's more than just talk. Really, just a year ago, it was just a lot of talk at that point. There were a few companies that were rolling out Matter support, but not much had actually done anything with it yet. So this year will be really exciting. I'm pretty excited. There he is, George. George says, I'm rocking 10 right now. So George, having any issues? He says, no problems with 10 since 17.2. Awesome. Thank you, George. For those that don't know, check out George Silverhammer Surveillance here on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel and does some cool home kit stuff with cameras and lots of HomePods over there on his channel. Let's see. All right, let me roll back up. So if you guys have questions, oh, dude, sorry, I totally missed this. Alexis, I don't know how I missed this membership chat. Forgive me for that, but Alexis has been a member for 13 months. So, man, thank you so much for the continued support there. Alexa, that's another thing. As a member, you get, I think it's 1 a month of these like super member chat. I don't know if that's what you call it. There's probably a name for it. The membership chat, you get one of those a month, I think. But anyways, Alexa says, thanks for all the support and inspiration. Do you actually use the FP2 for any automations, or is it just a gimmick? So that's kind of a two-parter. No, I'm not using it right now, but it's not because it's a gimmick. I'm not using it because I recently rebuilt my whole HomeKit setup, maybe like a month ago, you might remember. So I've been really fine-tuning all my automations and trying to get everything set up properly, like the way I really want. That takes time. But so yeah, I have, and part of it's just from being a YouTuber. I'm always kind of like testing things and stuff. So here's the FP2. I have one at my desk right now, and I will absolutely be using one here in the studio for sure. One of the reasons too it's not set up is because I moved it to my main living area for a while, and I had some zones set up. Just in a big area. I wanted to test it in like a really big area. So I did that for a while. That's where I was actually using it before I did the whole rebuild. And I had some zones set up like across my living room, kitchen. I have a little dining area. And I had different zones for all that and was just testing out and see how well it would perform in a big open space like that. It did pretty good. There was one or two problem spots kind of on like the perimeter of the sensing area for this, and I don't know, my wife gets kind of frustrated with with motion automations and stuff like that, so I tested it for a while, and I don't think I'm going to end up putting one back down in that area. But definitely here, I want one for a few different automations, and I'm going to see if there's somewhere else I can use one that, won't piss off the wife too bad. So we'll see. But the thing works incredible. I won't be using mine for the sleep tracking, that new feature we were just discussing. I don't really have a huge, need or desire for that. It's great for those who want to use it that way, but I won't use it that way. I like using it for just the different zone automations and stuff, and it's an incredible product for that. Definitely not a gimmick if you can take advantage of those. And really, it just works great as just a presence sensor, to be honest. Even if you're not using the different zones and stuff, it just does really good at detecting presence when you're just sitting and not moving a lot, you know what I mean? So, hope that answers that question. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss any other super chats or membership chats. Okay, I don't think I did. So yeah, if you guys have a question, drop it in the chat now, and I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. Let's see, do I have any other news to talk about? Nothing really too big. So we can just do questions and stuff here for the rest of the hour. Again, preface your question with the word question, and hopefully that will help, and I will try my best. YouTube's not highlighting them today like they do sometimes, so I'll do my best here. Larry has a question. Larry, how you doing, man? Says, how is your shoulder doing? Will you need surgery? How's the hand feeling? Thank you, Larry, for asking. So the hand and the wrist is okay as long as I don't use it. So I do have a brace. It's actually right here that I wear pretty much all the time when I'm not at my computer. Sometimes at my computer I'll take it off, because especially during live streams, because it kind of gets in the way of my mouse hand. But I do pretty much wear it the rest of the time. So that's okay. I just time there. The shoulder, I still don't know. I was actually supposed to go back last week to get all of this checked. So my broken hand, wrist, and then a possible torn shoulder. I was supposed to get a follow-up on all that last week, and then I got food poisoning. So I had to actually cancel that appointment because I was just, I wasn't going to make it that day. So I have a follow-up this week, and we'll see. Hopefully no surgery. That's definitely going to slow me down a bit. So for those that don't know, my wife, my daughter, and I were in a car accident not too long ago. Totaled my truck. I was on the interstate. Pretty scary accident, but luckily I got kind of the worst of the injuries. So that's what I've been dealing with. But thank you for asking, Larry. Definitely better than it could be. So I'm blessed and grateful. Know Your Joe says, is there a good solution for a HomeKit controlled IR blaster? If so, what is it? Yeah, there's two of them. I'm trying to remember the name of the other one. Let me see if I can find it. somebody in the chat may recall. It's not a very well-known one. So there's two that I'm aware of. There's the SwitchBot. They make the SwitchBot Hub 2 that now does work as a IR blaster. Oh, the Nature Remo. That's the other one. This one right here. Let me see. Ooh, where is it at? Again, HomeKit news coming through. The Nature Remo is an IR blaster. So these support HomeKit through Matter. I haven't used any of these. I think there is a 3-device limit on IR blasters in HomeKit, so just be aware of that. But it's that one and the, ooh, do I have enough slack on it? I have a, nope, I don't. I actually have a SwitchBot Hub 2 right here at my desk. I was gonna show it to you on screen, but I don't have enough slack. Oh, I might be able to get it on here. Let's see. Camera 2. Oh, there you go. SwitchBot Hub 2. There we go. 75 degrees up in here. It's a little warm in here today. I need to get rid of this hoodie. But yeah, so those are the only two options that I know of. Frederick, yeah, we just discussed that. The FP2 now has the sleep tracking. So that was part of that new firmware. So yeah, like I said, I made a short video on that. Was it yesterday or maybe Monday? Might have been Monday. Should be here on YouTube and on Instagram. Chris says, does it make sense to integrate Home Assistant with HomeKit? Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people do this, Chris. It's really up to you. So I know some people will use Home Assistant really for like the more complex automation capabilities and stuff like that, and then use HomeKit sort of as like a front end interface, whether it's the Apple Home app or using, you know, the voice assistant. Try not to set off your HomePods and stuff here. But yeah, I think that's perfectly reasonable, and I think a lot of people do that. Jerry says, have to go. All right, Jerry, hope you have a good day. And we'll enjoy the update of the Eve motion blinds. Yeah, I'm going to have to try those out. Oh, Alexis got the FP2. All right. Very cool. Can't wait to hear what you do with it. You're going to have to share some of those automations with us and let us know. Donnell says, question, do you ever have issues where your home thinks you have left even though you haven't, and location is set correctly on phones and watches? I have not had that issue, or I don't have that issue. I've heard of some people having some issues with location-based automations. Now, I don't know if that was an issue with their actual location or with the automations. I have heard also that has, like, those same people, or at least one specifically told me just today or yesterday that those location-based automations are now fixed since updating to 17.2. So maybe that will help if you haven't already update all your devices and HomeKit hubs and stuff, if it's an automation issue. But yeah, I have not had that issue. My location automations have been really stable for a long time, actually. Been pretty happy with them. Let's see. Great point there from Jeff. Says to Alexis or anybody else who's considering the FP2, and I agree completely. The most important part is spending the time to do the setup correctly. Follow Aqara's instructions. It's worth the effort. Great suggestion. Also something that I'm not very good at as far as following instructions. I usually try things first and then go back to the instructions. But yeah, that's a good suggestion there. And really, just as it goes with any motion automations, just, you know, take your time and just understand that it'll take some tweaking and stuff probably, but once you get those automations and those zones, if you're using that nailed down, it's an incredible product, I think. Eric says, my Aqara U100 randomly goes offline, even in the Aqara app. No codes, fingerprints, or anything will work until you pull the batteries and reset power. Any thoughts? So even in the Aqara app, that's definitely not right. So it's not a HomeKit issue, it sounds like, if it's happening in the Aqara app. So, I mean, unless it's a Wi-Fi issue, I mean, it could be a network issue. You know, whether or not you're using a hub or not, I think that it could be a network issue. If not, I don't know. That's definitely not normal though. I would reach out to Aqara because it sounds like an Aqara issue. If you're not able to find a solution there. Is there like a home assistant for beginners? Not necessarily, but they do have like the home assistant, what is it, yellow, and what's the other one? Somebody here will let me know. They've got some that are more plug and play now. It's easier now than it ever has been. Question, John says, does anyone use Homebridge with HomeKit, and do you like it? I do. You guys might know that already, but yeah, I do use Homebridge. I use Homebridge sparingly. I don't use it a ton. I've kept everything primarily in HomeKit, and I only use, you know, other things as needed. But there are some cases where I use Homebridge just here and there. Like, for example, that light in the corner doesn't support HomeKit natively, but I got that into HomeKit through Homebridge. Let's see. I'm doing some stuff. I've been doing some stuff lately with my truck, my new truck. Like I said, my last one was totaled, so I got a new one. And I have the new truck now completely operational. Well, not completely, but I can start it. I can remote start it. I can unlock the doors, sound the alarm, stuff like that, all in HomeKit now, which is pretty awesome. That's only possible through Homebridge. I don't know, there may be some other ways to do it, but I'm using Homebridge, so I like it. I mean, it's pretty cool to be able to tinker and do some crazy stuff like that. Home Assistant Green, thank you. Thank you, Jack's Diner. Yeah, I didn't want to get the color wrong. I knew it was another one. I've been wanting to kind of dabble in Home Assistant a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Everybody's kind of been pushing me that way. I'm sure I'll tinker with it a little bit when I have the time. Brolante says, oops, sorry, wrong comment. There we go. I've recently started running Homebridge instead of Home Assistant, and that's opened up a whole box of wonders. Interesting, instead of head scratchers. Wow, thanks for sharing. That's pretty interesting. So curious, what can you do with Homebridge that you weren't able to do with Home Assistant? Because it seems like people are doing just about everything with Home Assistant. So I don't think there is any dehumidifiers that work in HomeKit that support HomeKit. Not that I know of. VS Chris, question, how do you feel about the 2-in-1 solutions for hubs like the Aqara G3? I think it's great. I mean, you know, my whole thing is, you know, nobody really wants like a plastic box that you have to plug into your router. You know, not really. I mean, if you're gonna require a hub for all your products, like all these Zigbee Aqara sensors and stuff, which I love. I use a ton of them in my house. You know, if I'm going to have to use a hub, why not give me a hub that does more than just sit there and collect dust, you know? And that's kind of what I feel they've done with the Aqara. So Aqara has the G3 camera hub, G2H Pro camera hub. They have the M1S hub, which also includes like a built-in speaker and a light ring, so it can be like a night light. They have the M2 hub, which also acts as the IR blaster, and you know, other things like a security system in HomeKit. So yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that they give you more functionality out of these hubs, and then you can kind of really just pick and choose which hub is best for you. There's really no wrong answer, but you know, you can decide, you know, if you need a camera, get one of the camera hubs, and then you can pair your child accessories to that. I actually just took some water sensors over to one of my friends who you guys might have saw actually the smart nursery video I did. Gosh, baby's getting big now, so I guess that was at least 6 months ago, where we did the smart nursery video, and I actually used the Aqara G3 camera hub there and was able to pair a few sensors, and I just took them some more water sensors because they've been having some water leaks in their house. And she was like, what can I do for water sensors? I was like, I got the perfect thing for you. You already got the hub. So yeah, I like it. I think it's a cool solution. Let's see, some more questions. All right, Jason T, what's going on? Jason T says, I'm looking to switch over from SmartThings, but have Z-Wave devices and Samsung appliances. Habitat looks like it could do the Z-Wave part in a HomeKit certified way, but what about appliances? That's just one of those things, HomeKit doesn't support what it doesn't support. There's a lot of workarounds, that you can do, kind of uncertified things, and Habitat is one option to get Z-Wave products into HomeKit. Homie Pro is another one. So there's a few options like that in terms of like Z-Wave hubs that you can use. But other appliances, and I don't know what all devices are supported through that. Like Homie Pro, for example, not all device categories are supported in HomeKit through that HomeKit integration. And Homie Pro, off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I know it supports a lot of them because I've set some of those up. But yeah, it's just with appliances, your best bet might be setting up something like Homebridge if you're not able to get the integrations that you want through Habitat or Homie Pro or whatever you're using. If you're using if you're using Habitat for your Z-Wave stuff, I would go ahead and try there and see if you can find the integrations to get that over there to HomeKit as well. You may be able to do that. And if not, Homebridge is probably going to be your answer, most likely. And that's just a way of getting uncertified products into HomeKit, or Home Assistant is another one that you might be able to do also. Probably a little more learning curve there, but yeah, that's what I would look at. Oh, super chat. Bruce, thank you, Bruce, for the super chat. And Bruce says, I upgraded my home Wi-Fi. I used the same Wi-Fi name. Move went great, except for my Aqara G3. I synced it to the new Wi-Fi, and the hub works, but cameras doesn't work with HomeKit. Any suggestion? Interesting. So you said you're using the G3. Do you have child accessories that are paired to that G3, like as the hub? And if so, are those child accessories exposed? Is anything working in HomeKit? Or is it just not can you not get the HomeKit integration at all to work? My first thought is maybe, and I haven't done the Matter update to any of my, let's see, I'm trying to think if I don't know if the cameras even have the Matter update yet, actually, so that's probably not an issue there. But I was trying to see if there's a follow-up on that. Yeah, I don't know. If it's working, sync the new Wi-Fi and the hub works, but the camera doesn't work in HomeKit. Yes, the contact sensor, the sensors are working. So the sensors are working in HomeKit. So I'm going to look up something real quick because I have an idea. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, Bruce, I think what probably happened is it sounds like, again, I don't know exactly what this looks like because I haven't done this, but the G3 does actually support Matter now. So what maybe you've done in the process was update your, you may have updated your camera hub to support Matter, and what that does is that enables the Matter over Bridge support, right? And so that works in HomeKit, but cameras, as you know, don't support Matter. So that might be the issue. Again, I'm not 100% sure on how that looks because I haven't done that in my own setup yet. I haven't updated those to support Matter, but that's my guess. And if that's the case, there is a way to enable like the native HomeKit, the original HomeKit integration, and not the Matter integration. I don't know exactly what that is. Or how to do that with a G3 camera hub. I'm trying to think of, there's a way with M2, I know that I did that. So you can actually integrate these products into HomeKit two ways, through Matter or through the kind of legacy HomeKit way. So that's my guess is what happened to you. So you may just have to figure out how to kind of integrate it the HomeKit, the legacy way, and reach out to Aqara, maybe do some research and see if you can figure that out, because I'm not sure what the steps are for that, but hopefully that kind of helps. That sounds like what has happened. Let's see. Alexa says try disabling the 5 gigahertz band maybe, but yeah, he says it's working, and so I think it's a Matter issue. Keenan says, question, what is the lowest barrier to entry system to get virtual switches into HomeKit? I do use a couple spare smart plugs as dummy switches, but would eventually like a more long-term solution. Okay, cool. I like this question, Keenan. So it depends on what you mean by lowest barrier to entry, in terms of money or in terms of difficulty, I guess. The lowest barrier to entry, probably in terms of money that I can think of, is probably going to be Homebridge. I think you can do virtual switches also with Habitat. Might be another option. Habitat's around $150, I think, for the newer one. In terms of the easiest, I'm a fan of Homie Pro, but Homie Pro is like $400. You're not going to want to get a Homie Pro just for virtual switches. But it's definitely easy, and I really like that integration. But again, that's going to be expensive if you just need virtual switches. Homebridge is probably the way to go in terms of lowest barrier to entry for money. You just have to have a device that you can run Homebridge on, be it a Raspberry Pi or Raspberry Pi would be perfectly fine for running some virtual switches and stuff, or creating some virtual switches. Good question. I get this question. I hear this a lot too. Jay Ortiz says, when Christmas is over, do you leave the devices in HomeKit unresponsive for a year, or do you remove them and re-add them the next year? Just curious. Yeah, I definitely don't leave them unresponsive in HomeKit. That would drive me nuts. Not only do I not like seeing no response, but I have so many things kind of coming in and out and moving in my HomeKit setup all year long, largely because of just doing YouTube and the channel and everything, that I need to reduce the amount of things and complexities as much as I can. So yeah, I've tried a few different things. There is actually ways you can use the Controller for HomeKit app, which is a fantastic app. You can create like holiday backups and stuff like that and restore those and everything. So you could try going that route, and I kind of tried that a little bit, but for me, I found just like the easiest thing for me, honestly, is just to, when Christmas is over, I have a bunch of smart plugs that I really don't use except for the holidays. the easiest thing for me to do is just remove it from HomeKit, pull the smart plug, remove it from my HomeKit setup, throw it in a closet, and not think about it again until, the next year. That said, you just have to make sure you're not losing your HomeKit codes and stuff. I do always use the controller for a HomeKit app or the HomePass app for storing my HomeKit codes, or use both. You can use the Notes app. You use whatever you want. Just make sure you store your HomeKit codes just in case there's ever any issue and you're not able to read it or whatever like that, the next year. But as long as you have those HomeKit codes, it's really not hard at all just to plug something in and set it back up in the Home app. So that's what I do every year. I did that this year, and that way you're not, it would be just as frustrating to reuse stuff because it would be a different smart plug, and it was the Christmas tree last year and it's the garland this year, and I don't want to mess with all that. So let's see. It would be so cool if a company that makes HomeKit bridges would build and support for virtual switches like Aqara SwitchBot. That would be a massive selling point. Currently, it would be, but I'm almost certain that that is against Apple HomeKit requirements or whatever required for the certification. So I don't think you're allowed to do that and still be officially certified. That's why these bridges that you see that do have that capability usually have the HomeKit integration like in beta, or it's not officially certified. So that's why you're not seeing any officially HomeKit certified bridges that have that support. At least that's my understanding of it. Wazzle says, question, I am very new to this HomeKit stuff. I have a provider supplied router without antenna, and I'm getting Wi-Fi disconnections. What would you recommend to boost the Wi-Fi signal? So what I would do, especially if you're getting started, is ditch your ISP provided router. They're usually not very good. There's probably exceptions, but in my experience, the routers provided by the internet service provider are not any good. So I'll usually ditch that, or a lot of times they'll give you the combo unit or whatever. It's a modem and a router combined. I just tell them I don't want the Wi-Fi capability, cut that off, and then I get my own router. So I always recommend getting some sort of mesh Wi-Fi system if you're into HomeKit or building a smart home. I use the Netgear Orbi Wi-Fi system right now. I've used a few different Orbis. I've used Linksys. I've used TP-Link for a little bit, the Decos. A lot of people love Ubiquiti. But if you're just getting started and want something plug and play, I would look at one of those Wi-Fi mesh systems that are just easy to set up and work well. Probably anything's going to be a little bit better than what your service provider provides in most cases. So that's kind of where I would start. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Question, HomeKit smoke detectors. Man, we got that question a couple times today. Brian, thanks for the question. There's only 2 in the US. I answered this earlier actually in the stream. There's only 2 in the US that support HomeKit natively, the First Alert and the Owl smoke detector. I did a review on the Owl one recently. It's got some problems. I have not had the greatest experience in either one, with either one, honestly. So I don't have a great recommendation for that. I do like the Owl. I think it has a lot of potential, but it's not perfect yet. Let's see. Oh yeah, Dan, good point, Dan. I forget about that. Dan says the Ubiquiti now has a Unify Express, which should work as a mesh system. Yeah, so it might be a little bit more, user-friendly than your typical Ubiquiti stuff. So another good option. Eero, a lot of people, in fact, one of my neighbors just purchased a pack of Eeros. I tried to convince her to get a different one, but she got Eero, and at the end of the day, whatever you're comfortable using, Eero, Orbi, TP-Link, what am I missing? Linksys, all those make some pretty good out of the box Wi-Fi mesh systems that should work well. BT, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. So thank you for sharing your experience. Loves the First Alert and has been using it for 3 years. So there you go. I mean, you never know. I tried the First Alert years ago. In fact, I probably shouldn't admit this. There is actually a video on my YouTube channel. If you want to go way back and see just how incredibly awful my videos used to be. One of my first videos on the channel was actually the First Alert smoke alarm. I didn't have a good experience with it way back then, and I just never went back to it, never really gave it another shot. So I've heard really mixed reviews about it also from other people, but glad to hear it's been working well for BT year and 08. Question, what if you lose your Matter code? You are SOL. Pretty much, if you ever have to reset it. So, nice thing I guess about Matter is that the multi-admin, which I talked about in a video a few weeks ago, you can basically put it in pairing mode in whatever ecosystem you're using, and it'll generate a Matter code. So as long as you have it paired in a ecosystem somewhere, you're okay, because you can always put it in pairing mode and then pair it to another ecosystem and stuff like that. But if you ever have to do a factory reset of the device, which means, it's just factory reset, you have to use the original Matter code that came with the product for the initial pair to the first ecosystem, if that makes sense. So every time you put it in pairing mode after that, like from one ecosystem to another, it generates a new code, or either numerical or QR code. But for that first one, that initial pair, you have to use the original Matter code. So don't lose those Matter codes. Save them for sure. John K. Wolf says, my Deco router works great also. Very cool. Ed, question, is it a good practice to assign the same IP address or static IP to HomeKit devices? It is. It can be. I don't think it's necessary. I don't do that for all of my devices, but I do for some. I generally do this for my HomeKit hubs, and I will do it for certain products, especially when I'm using them with Homebridge, or it just kind of depends. I don't do it, again, for all of my devices, but it could be a good practice. I don't think it's necessary for everything, but yeah, it could be a good idea for a lot of things. And like I said, I do it for some of mine, kind of just depending on what I'm doing with it. Mike Evans. What's up, Mike? Mike says, have you looked at Home Assistant? Interested in your thoughts on it? Looking to standardize on a platform to have consistency in my automations. I have looked at it in terms of, I'm familiar with it. I know what it's capable of. I have not really played with it yet. It will happen at some point. I'm curious enough to definitely give it a whirl and see what I can do with it. But I have not used it yet. I know a lot of people speak really highly of it. So I think it's a great option if you're looking for something with some really strong, automation capabilities, and you don't mind tinkering a little bit. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of just going into a dark time suck that I can never get out of, and setting all that stuff up. But I'm sure eventually it'll happen. Dr. Cole also uses the First Alert, so very cool. Okay, so we got some people. And I also hear that too. A lot of people like the Nest smoke detectors, but of course they don't support HomeKit natively. That's the downside. So you'll have to use something like the Starling Hub or Homebridge for those. And to be honest, unless, and this is my 2 cents, I'll put this out there real quick. My 2 cents on smoke detectors, unless unless you have, okay, unless you really want to build automations, which I understand what is nice to do. So unless you really want to build automations around your smoke detectors, I think the HomePods are perfectly suitable, sort of as an alternative to a smart smoke detector, because they now have the capability where they will send you critical alerts on your phone no matter where you're at, and tell you that there's, a smoke alarm is being, is being triggered, and that works with your dumb smoke detector. So if the HomePod detects a dumb one going off, it doesn't matter. It will give you a notification. It'll even allow you to check in on your phone. So if there's a camera in that room, it'll pop up a camera feed. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's pretty impressive. I love the way this works. It's kind of like a special notification. So if you get that alert, it'll say, hey, smoke is detected in the living room. If there's a camera in the living room, it'll give you a feed of the living room and an option to kind of like check in and do audio through the HomePod. So it's pretty impressive. The only downside is you can't use those in automations. So, if you have HomePods in most of the rooms in your house, they'll probably hear those smoke alarms anyways, and send you notifications. So I don't know, just something to keep in mind, I suppose. And on that note, I've got to get running. My daughter has an event at her school this evening that I am excited to go check out. So I'll be doing that. And yeah, I really enjoyed hanging out and talking with you guys today about our smart homes. Again, we had so many, Sam with the man earlier in the chat with all those gifted memberships. Welcome to all the new members. Would love to see you over in our Discord server. Again, just link your YouTube account to Discord and you should be able to get access to that. And all the existing channel members, thank you guys so much for your continued support. And for everybody who's just subscribed and tuning into these things. Always fun, always enjoy Wednesdays, hanging out, chatting smart home with you guys. We only got a couple weeks left of the new year, of this year until the new year. And then we'll be off to CES. Can't wait to see all the new HomeKit and Matter products and announcements. It's going to be a lot of fun. So a lot of good things coming. Excited about that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. New video coming this Sunday. And till then, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. God bless.